What's red, white, and blue and covered in stars? An American flag cake! Happy 4th of July, everyone. You're watching The Icing Artist. To get started, I made 2 batches of my thick vanilla cake batter. Recipes down below. I divided that into 2 bowls, but made sure to keep a little bit of that white batter. I dyed one my royal blue and the other one a deep red. For the red batter, I just poured that into an 8-inch round pan and a 6-inch round pan. But for the blue one, I really want to take this cake to another level and attempt to make those little stars that are actually on the blue part of the flag. Don't make fun of me if this doesn't work, because I do not have high hopes for this. But you never know if you don't try. I poured a bit of blue cake batter into my 8-inch round cake pan and then piped these little rings of white cake batter on top of that. I piped lots of little white lines, and my thought is because we are cutting out the center of this cake anyways to layer it with like red and white stripes, we don't have to do rings all the way in. Pop those in the oven, and once they're out, I'm just gonna pop those out of the cake pans and remove the parchment paper. I always put parchment paper on the bottom of my cake pans. I find that is the perfect way to stop them from sticking. And to all of my American friends out there, everyone who's watching from the US, happy 4th of July, and I wanna know, what are you guys doing this weekend to celebrate? Are you having a pool party, barbecue, fireworks? What are you guys doing? Gotta say, it's Canada Day this weekend, and I am from Canada, so there is fireworks going on all outside. It's been a timing thing of like talking between the pops of fireworks. I then stacked up my 2 8-inch cakes and carved up the sides to make sure they are nice and square. We are gonna need to do some red and white stripes that are gonna go right inside of that blue part. Fireworks, can you guys hear them? So I'm just gonna use my 3.5-inch circle cutter, make sure that's nice and centered, and cut directly straight down. I have like kind of pushed before where the cutter goes wonky. Believe me, that circle cut when you get it out of there looks wonky too. The same thing with my 6-inch red cake. Cut my red cakes into 1/2-inch layers because we want each stripe to be about 1/2 inch going up the cake. I measured, I drew a drawing trying to figure out the proportion of this cake, and I feel like this is what's gonna look good. We are officially ready to start layering this flag cake up. So I started with my red layer of cake, and then I'm actually going to pipe on my layer of buttercream that's gonna go in between, because that's gonna be the white part of our flag. And I wanna make sure it's gonna be a nice, consistently thick layer of icing. Even though I'm Canadian, I've been to the States so many times so far this year. I've flown there 6 times, which is the most I've ever flown in 1 year. But last week we were there for VidCon, which was crazy, by the way. If you guys are following me on Instagram, you would have seen some of those posts, but I posted a couple different things about what we were doing there in live demos with a cupcake roulette and an interview and stuff. So make sure to follow me on Instagram. That's my tag over here, or you can check the link down below. Finally, it is time to add the blue part of the cake right on top. And then inside that ring, we're gonna be layering up those small red layers we cut up earlier. Red layer, icing, red layer, and we are done. Time to crumb coat this cake. I made sure I did a really thin crumb coat in this cake because there's already so much icing going on. So I scraped off most of that icing and just glide the spatula right along that top edge, pulling it right into the center. I dyed my buttercream blue and red, and of course left some more white. Then using my 1M piping tip, just piped stripes going along the side of the cake. This was the easiest way to do this. I want it to look like a flag, but at the same time, I want it to be really easy because we did the cool pattern on the inside and we really want that to shine. And then for the top, I just spiraled that blue going all the way into the center. What American flag is an American flag without some white stars on top? So I cut out 50, I counted, 50 little fondant white stars to stick on the top of the cake. Now is officially an American flag cake. But did that pattern of the blue with the little stars on the inside of the cake work, is what I want to know. It kind of worked. Like, I wouldn't call it a complete fail, but really not a success either. I don't know if it was worth the effort. But if you look really closely, you can see the little white dots. I mean, yeah, I tried. Anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this cake. Happy 4th of July, everybody, and make sure to come back here again next week so we can make something else into cake. Bye, guys.